So normally I do videos like these as like end of the year, but I figured, since the holidays and the days are kind of winding down to the new year, and we're approaching a very, very, and I do stress very uncertain, 2025, fast approaching. But I figured I would do like I normally do these videos at the end of the year where I talk about the state of the channel and, talk about my like a year. Like a review, year's worth review of how things went, in this time frame, like in the span of the year, So, anyway, first and foremost, happy holidays to you all. Hope you all are having a, solid Christmas. I hope you all had a solid Christmas Eve and solid Christmas Day. I hope you're with friends and or loved ones, or, maybe your family is just a pile of shit and you just want to be by yourself. I'm not judging. That's not a joke. I'm not judging. I know, family is very tough. God knows I want to be somewhere else. Anywho, enough about that. So, yeah. But yeah, like I said, happy holidays. Hope you all are enjoying yourselves. But anyway, let's get down to brass tacks. 2024 was arguably a fascinating year for me on a multitude of levels. I've now gone from, I've now reached, as of this moment, as of this recording, 7,700 subscribers. And I never thought I'd get this far. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, 7,700, 77? Really? You're only, you're only talking about that much, You didn't really make, that's not really a lot, comparatively speaking. I'm like, and here I am going, there was a point in my life where I thought I'd be doing this and never thought I'd get 1K subscribers, let alone 7.7. You know what I mean? There was, like, I've been doing this channel, most of you guys know that I've been doing this channel since I was 18 years old. Like, I'm 34 now. As much as some people will be like, really? Yeah, really. I'm old. Yeah, I've been doing this since 2009. I've been doing YouTube since 2009, and I'm, in my mid-40s now. I mean, my mid-30s now. Excuse me. And, again, I didn't think I'd ever get to a point in my life where I would reach one, let alone 1K, but over 7,000. And, near, a couple hundred more subscribers, I'll get 8K. And, again, that's something, you see, I know it's not like a big jump for a lot of YouTubers. Let's not like, comparatively speaking, that's a blip on the, in the ocean of YouTube. But honestly, again, I'm very humbled, and I'm very thankful that you guys wanted to watch my content and wanted to stick around. Because again, some of you have stuck around since like year one. Like some of you, like some subscribers have been around since year one. So I'm very grateful that you guys have been nothing short of just, helpful. And I cannot thank you guys enough for that. You know what I mean? So, and new subscribers, thank you for coming on my channel. Thank you for following all the fanfiction ideas, all of that. I greatly appreciate it. I really do. I greatly appreciate all of the, all the likes and comments, all of that. And I'm just in awe that you guys get to, keep listening to my dumb shit every day. The other thing that really was kind of a boon for the channel was talking about Warhammer 40k. I finally accepted the God Emperor into my life, and it has exponentially helped with the channel. It has, I think, I've noticed a massive boom in my channel because talking about Warhammer. It was a massive upgrade in my life. It was I think I also picked the right time to get into it. It was a right place, right time, because Space Marine 2 was just coming out this year. And I'm not saying I just decided to be a tourist. No, I'd always been curious about Warhammer 40k, but the problem is, and every Warhammer fan will tell you, is that it's so fucking massive. It's really hard to, like, you know, get into it. And it's so, like, all encompassing that it's really difficult to really get. It's intimidating to get into, let alone you stack the old world and Age of Sigmar on top of that. But once I accepted, you know, the God Emperor into my heart, I saw a massive boom in my channel because I was talking about Warhammer. And I'm not saying, like, you know, Warhammer, you know, I'm only using Warhammer as a vehicle. I genuinely like the genre. And I know there's more people out there who are more knowledgeable than I am, but, you know, you see a lot, and this is not a dig, because a lot of these channels did help me, you know, digest a lot of lore, like Wes Hammer, Pancreas No Work, Numbskulls, like, channels like those really, like, give you digestible, you know, it gives you a lot of digestible work and lore to really work with and understand. Because, again, there's a lot, and a lot of it you can't get in novel form, because it's like, it'll cost you, like, an arm, a leg, and your firstborn child. And possibly a testicle or two, but we'll not get into that. Yeah. So Warhammer was a big part of the expansion, and I think what also was kind of interesting, because I was, like, applying Warhammer to my fanfiction ideas, to my what-ifs, and, yeah, I could do lore videos. I'm not, but, like, A, I might there's a lot of lore, and I might get it wrong, and B, you know, the other thing is that I think it's because no one's really seen, you know, there are some what-if videos and scenarios and things like that, but it really does feel like I'm kind of carving out my own little piece in there to, like, just nestle in the sea of Warhammer. So that was really cool. I also want to take this time to, you know, thank all of you out there. I really want to thank everyone out there who's been part of my Patreon. That really helped me, and it continues to help me. There was a point where I had lost my job. I got it back, but it's way worse. It is so fucking bad. And honestly, Patreon pays more than my job has. So I thank you all for that. Like, you guys have kept me, you guys kept me afloat in a very troublesome sea for, like, a good several months. So I want to thank all of you for that. I also want to thank, like, again, all of you for, you know, new and old subscribers, for joining on Patreon, regardless of tier, and hopefully the Patreon continues to grow. I know I keep saying I'm going to add more stuff, but I've been so busy these past few weeks, and I really want to get back to it. I hopefully will get a review of Nosferatu out by the end of the year, because I'm really holding off on my top 10 favorite movies, and I might actually do a top 10 least favorite, because this is the biggest year I've seen movies. 2024 was arguably the biggest year I have seen movies in a hot minute. Like, I have watched more movies, both good and bad, than any other year. Like, I'm approaching, like, near, like, over, and I know people have seen, like, watch every movie to come out, but, like, I have, for the most part, seen every movie I've wanted to see, give or take a few, and I now have enough of, like, good and bad movies, so I could be like, oh my god, I can make a best and worst list. But first I want to see Nosferatu. I doubt it's going to be on top 10 worst. Fingers crossed. No, but really. I do want to see Nosferatu before the year is out, so there is that. I have also been working on a book. That's been very slow because of complications, but it's, you know, I'm chugging along on that. I wrote a new short story for Duel of the Monsters Volume 3, which God knows when that comes out, because, well, let's say, the working conditions at the place I work, without getting into the place I've written for, is sluggish, and I'm being very genuine. Yeah, I also want, like, again, thank you all. Like, I just can't help but say thank you all for all the help you've had adding to this channel, you know, giving, you know, helping me through, you know, some really rough times, and continue to help me through rough times. Like, again, Patreon still pays more for me than my job does. So, you know, you guys have literally kept the lights on. I'm not joking. You guys have several times, thanks to the help on Patreon, have kept the lights on than my job ever has. And hopefully I will find a better one, and I have been looking very extensively for a new job. I also want to give a shout out to my friend Chris for... you can't see it, but there's a giant stack of books I've been digging through, and more to come. And I'm always happy to read more, because, again, I can't afford reading all these books. And, yeah, Chris has been very helpful with the channel of allowing me to read the Energon universe. He's been sending me Marvel, DC, and indie books that I enjoy, and he's also been very critical of always saying, like, always be honest. And I did tell him, and I think I told this story before, where he was like, you know, where I was like, hey man, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, so I gave the book I hated a good review, and he told me flat out, don't ever fucking do that again. Because he wants me to be honest about these reviews. So I always keep it real, even when, like, the book sucks. I still keep it real with them. So Chris, big shout out to you. Also want to thank, like, other guys I've been very close with, like Major Mercury, Jason Voorhees 2011, several other channels as well, like, of course, Real Manos and Matt Denian. Matt's been part of my channel more. He's probably just going to be the co-crossover guy whenever I do reviews. So, crossover comic reviews. So there is that. I also would have to say that, like, it's a, you know, it blows my mind that I am able to do this and continue to do this, because I've seen so many times, I've watched so many times, the whole fucking, I've seen YouTube channels come and go, like, I can't snap my fingers, but you see the emphasis, like that. Like, I've seen so many channels, like, with so much hope and vigor, and then they just get washed out by the algorithm, by the almighty, cruel algorithm gods. And I'm not saying I haven't been a victim of it, but, you know, I didn't, like, there have been times where I wanted to quit on everything, and you guys have basically allowed me to continue to, like, come up with crazy ideas, to come up with, you know, just insane plots, and also you guys have helped me, you know, what can I use as an emphasis? I think I know. I'm so professional on this channel. You know, do that. So, you know, I have to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart that I've had some low points this year. I've had some real low points this year. But I've also, you know, had some very high points. And I have you guys to thank for it. So, I also don't have, like, this, I'm not going to say, like, I have this major goal to reach, but I am, like, I'm not trying to be like, if we can make it to 10,000 before the end of the year. No, I'm not doing that. I will say, though, that my personal goal, I do have a few personal goals I want to reach for 2025, and those are just for me. I'm not saying, like, oh, new year, new me. It's the same trash mouth motherfucker you are going to hear in these videos. I promise you. But yeah. So again, I know I'm a fucking broken record, but, you know, thank you all. Bottom of my heart, thank you for joining on Patreon. If you want to be part of Patreon and check out, like, movie reviews or send Patreon requests and shit like that, just hit the link below in the description box and, you know, go from there if you just want to do first tier, or, you know, send me Patreon requests, that's third tier, or just want to check out exclusive content, that's second tier. Yeah. thank you all. Just, you know, it's been a phenomenal year. Well, I take that back. It's been a fair year. That's a little more realistic. But again, none of this would have been possible to make it to 2024 without you guys. So thank you all. I know this. You get it. You know, like these big time subscribers who have these big disingenuous kind of like, oh, it's nothing without you. Even though I wouldn't even spit on the spit on you if you were on fire. You know, I'm not like that. I'm more like genuinely thank you. You guys have literally kept the lights on in my house. So thank you, and helped me get afford Christmas presents for my girlfriend. That was that was all Patreon. So. Thanks for that. So thank you for that. Anyway, so to stop from being a broken record, I'm gonna just say happy holidays. And hope you all have a good one too. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the multiverse.